Hey friends, Jessica here with Creators Couture, and I'm back with some new tutorials, some fresh inspiration to kind of get your mind going and give you some ideas of what you can do with my brushes. So I'm just going to kind of do a real quick overview of this and show you how I put together this citrus design using some of my brushes. For this one, mainly I use my Modern Impressionist Photoshop brushes, some brushwork brushes, and one of my spring botanicals for the vines in the background. But it's really fun, really easy, and most importantly, you do not need any drawing ability. And then what's really fun is that after I did this and got this set up, I thought, how about what if I do this in a different style? So I took this same composition and really quickly I used some other brushes, and a lot of you guys will probably recognize these. I used my glitch core brushes and created a whole different look, and I was using my same color palettes. So I'm featuring in this demonstration my citrus collection, which I don't give enough love to. So this is a really great color palette collection and also brush collection. And the brushes I need to feature more actually, because there are some really gorgeous texture brushes in this collection and also pattern brushes, kind of some things to make some really cool patterns. So here are the color palettes. So as you can see, we've got all of the different citrus colors, and this just makes it really fun if you're wanting to do any kind of citrus art. I've already sampled them directly from images and cleaned them up, so it's really great. And the colors are very true to the actual citrus colors. And then we've got these gorgeous texture brushes, which are great. And even you can use the color blending palettes with those. And then we also have these pattern brushes. So you can really have some fun, make really fun surface pattern designs with these. And they're all like, they're not pattern fill brushes, but they are like pattern painting brushes. So they create little marks and stuff. Very fun, and they've got like texture built in. So let's go back and get started. And I thought I would do something really fun at the end of this. I'm going to quick go over this because I want to keep it short and snappy, but I'm going to put my time lapse of my original work while I was kind of deciding what to do, so you can kind of get a little peek into my process. So let's pull back the layers here and see how I set this up. So let me just go through here and turn off some of these shapes and everything and my layers, and then we'll go back through later. So the first thing that I did was create these simple circle shapes to be representing some oranges. And I just use a very basic orange color. I didn't really worry too much about which orange that I did because I'm going to paint over it. And so for this shape, I use Brushwork Brush 26. And now these brushes, let's just zoom in a little bit here. They have a nice texture to them. I was just outlining the shape, so I wasn't really worried too much about which brush that I use, but these brushes also have very amazing like texture. When you go lighter on the brushes, you can see the texture in the brush. They're very gorgeous. So I just mapped out these shapes with that brushwork brush number 26 in a solid orange color. And you could even make this into a seamless pattern if you want. That's a whole other, I won't go into how to make things seamless in this video. But in this one, I just wanted a digital background. So I have some going off of the side. And as you guys might have seen before, I always have like, say this is my area that I'm creating. It's 1500 by 1500. I create a document that is 1700 by 1700 and have a preview layer, so that way if I need to move things afterwards, it's not cropped off the side. So it gives me a little bit of leeway. So then I created a new clipping mask layer above that, and I used Modern Impressionist brush number 1 and number 26 and added some texture to this. So let's just turn this off here. I'm going to make a new layer. So of course we're getting our pattern stamp tool, and if you are not familiar with the this technique, my pattern stamp multicolor technique, I'll have the link down below. But we're going to use brush number 1 and number 26. So let me grab number 1 here, and I'm going to grab think it's this color palette. And I'm not sure if, let me see if I did two different ones. Yeah. Okay. So I put these on the same layer. The smart thing to do would be to be non-destructive, so to have these on two separate layers. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, so I'm just going to go, this is brush number one, and I picked this nice color, this orange color palette here. And let's see here. So I can just go through and add a little something to each orange here. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you could just play around, whatever. And then now I'm going to make a new layer on top of that. And then I'll grab Modern Impressionist brush 26 and then maybe get like a lighter color and then do the same thing. And then of course these brushes, I have pressure sensitivity. So if you do it like gently, it's going to have like a soft blend. But if you push hard, you're going to see those colors and see that drama in the color blends. So it's fun. So you could just kind of like spice it up, do whatever. And then that way they're all cohesive, but they all are individual and unique. So that is cool. And then the last thing that I did was I used I used a texture brush from the citrus collection. So let me go and look at my citrus brushes, Citrus Creative Kit brushes. And let's see here. I use texture 16. So this is the subtle texture, and I wanted to use it in like a lighter color. So let me get the lightest color here in my color palette. And then maybe even I'll grab like a yellow. No, that's light enough. So I'll just add a little bit of texture to each one. So as you can see, we're building up a really artistic sort of, like a really artistic sort of vibe with these oranges. And it's not so worried. This is more of a pattern sort of design. So we're not so worried about being perfectly realistic or whatever. And let's see here. So now we want to add the leaves. So actually what I did, let me just move this to a new document. So rather just to save myself a little bit of time, what I did was I drew out these leaves and hang on one second. So I drew out these leaves and created like a brush. So what I did was I just quick with one of my brushwork brushes, put some simple leaf shapes, nothing complicated. And then I created a brush out of them. So I would go like this, take my selection tool, and then go to edit, define brush preset. And then what I did, because each time that I stamped them, I wanted them to like move. So whenever I'm just going to show you the brush really quick. Let's see here. So let's get out my brush panel. And here's the brush tip. And so what I do is I just up the spacing and then I put the shape dynamics at angle jitter. And that way each time I stamp it, it goes like this. And these three brushes or four brushes that I created, I'll have those available to my subscription members, my members. So that way, if you want to do something like this, you got those little brushes done already. So let's go over here. So what I did was, yeah, I just stamped them. And one little thing that I'm going to show you, and I just used the regular brush tool, not color blending or anything like that. So when you stamp these brushes, it can come out a different, angle every time. So what I did was I just, sometimes I made them their own layer. And if it doesn't come out exactly the direction you want or whatever, all you have to do is just hit Command T, free transform it, and just move it around. But I like to save little bits of time here and there, so that was a time-saving thing for me to do. So we've got the leaves, and then I just wanted to add a little oomph, but I didn't want to, you kind of want to have some balance in your design. So if everything is multicolor and everything is crazy, then nothing really stands out. So what I did was I used just a brushwork brush let's zoom in here. And as you can see, it gives it this really gorgeous texture. So my brushwork brushes are my like classic, um, my classic sort of one color brushes for you know, more basic things, but they're really cool. It's an edited collection, so there's not too many of them, and a lot of the dry brushes and stuff have this like gorgeous texture built in, so you know, you can obviously you know, create solid shapes, and they have interesting what do you call it, interesting like texture on them, but on some of them are smooth, but then also you can just like use the pressure light and create some strokes that show the texture of that brush. So I just went like that, nothing too difficult. um Let me, oi, oi, oi. Yeah, so you know, you can just kind of just do something like that good enough. So I'm actually gonna backtrack because I accidentally cut all those. Oh goodness. So there we've got the oranges. But what I wanted to do, and when I was creating this, I actually had, let me just do this. It's cool because you can do it in a lot of different colorways, or, you know, uh, design styles. But I thought it would be fun to have something like the background. You know, I created this and then I played with the background color, but this was the background color that I decided. So I'm like, cool, whatever. So then, but I wanted some like dimension. So what I did was I created these spring botanical backgrounds. And actually, don't worry, these aren't meant to be multicolored. I just laid them down in there, but I wanted some sort of movement behind those oranges. So let's just do this really quick here. So make a new layer. And what I did was I used Spring Botanicals brush number 4. So these are nice for some kind of pattern designs, and you know, you can add some interesting like for botanical designs. So this is brush number 4, and I'm using the one with no jitter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the color of the background and make it a little lighter because I don't want it to stand out too much. And then I'll just lay that down like that. So, you know, just that looks even cool by itself, you know, one color, but we're going to add um, a little bit extra. So that is going to be our clipping mask. So then I'm going to make a new layer on top of that, create a clipping mask, and let's see here, what was it? Modern Impressionist brush number 70. Oy. Okay, so let's go back to our pattern stamp tool. What I picked was this color blend right here. It's got the white and the orange in it. And let's go to Modern Impressionist brush number 70. And, oh, I did not get the right color. There we go. And then I just went like this. So I think that looks like quite nice. And I'm not worrying about it being perfect, but we've just got those multicolor sort of things. And I like that just the overall effect of it. I think it's nice. You've got those white pops. I really like that color of background, but whenever I was creating it, I actually started with like a white background, and then I was just playing around and I was like, oh, what about like a gray? And sometimes what I like to do is just go between black and white and kind of just see where's like a nice tone. And I mean, sometimes you can make it more dramatic. So say you could do like a dark background and have it pop, and you know, but I found something in the middle. I found that really interesting. And then what I did, once I found like a tone that I liked, then I can move it over here towards the orange, and then just the color orange, and then I could just move over here and add a little bit more color. So you know, you could just do this in so many different color schemes or whatever. Or you know, you could put it in green, have like a dark green background. So a lot of different things you could do just for a different mood. So, but let's see, which one did I do? I liked this one. I think it was kind of bright, kind of cheerful, and cool. So that is how I created that citrus. And let's see here. So then I went to here. So what I did was I took this same design and then I will just, I stripped everything back to just the shapes. And then I just did the same thing with my glitch core brushes. So that was really fun. So let me go here and let's pull it back so we can see how we built this up. And I won't go over everything because I want to save you time and you'll get the idea. Let's see here. So let's just go back to the leaves. Let's go, what is this? This one, okay. And turn off this. Oh, and the last thing that I did here, I totally forgot to show you guys was I added some subtle texture. I wonder if I deleted this layer. Uh, Maybe I did. Well, I think what I did before is I used my pattern stamp tool and leaves behind everything. I had put a little bit of texture. Oh, there it is. Okay, so if you scroll in here, you didn't have to, like, this isn't something, I don't know if I need it or not. Maybe it's just a little bit stronger compositionally without it. But I actually did add a little bit of texture in the background, and this is using a texture brush from the citrus collection. So, but I think those texture brushes from the citrus collection are really good. And so maybe I need to like uh, feature those a little bit more because I think they're being a little bit underutilized. So let's go here. So now we have the shapes that we build and we're going to do the same thing and use same kind of color palettes, but we're going to use the glitch core brushes. So let us grab my pattern stamp tool. Okay, so first thing I did was I made a new layer over my clipping mask layer, and we are using glitch core brush number 26. And actually, I'm just going to kind of roll through these. I'm not going to show all the brush strokes in action because I just want to keep this short and snappy, but I'll do like a couple of them. So you can see the cool glitch core brushes in action because this is a set that's very cool. So let's go down to brush number 26 and let's go to this color palette here. And we're getting those cool glitch core sort of effects. So that's really awesome. But what's super fun is you could just go and play with all the different glitch core brushes and find one that, that you like, or you can just mix them up and just do, and some of you guys know some of these brushes are wild. So, you can just play over it. But it gives those really glitchy effects. Super fun. There are no wrong answers here. But what I did, so this is the fun part of it. But what I did was I just went through and I did this with just the glitch core brush number 26. So there we go. Then we've got all those colors. It's really fun. Then I added brush number 17 and I wanted a brush that I could like do lightly. So let me just make a new layer. Let me get brush number 17 and then I changed to like a lighter color palette. And then the glitch core brushes are pressure sensitive. So you can, like if I push down hard, it'll look like this with this brush. But if I use light pressure, then we've got these really cool glitchy sort of strokes. And you can just add some, like go really light here. Let's zoom in. Okay, let me undo this. So look at those gorgeous, all the different effects you can make. So everyone is different. You can use light pressure, really build that up. And it's just all about building up layers. So I'm going to just pop that on there. That's brush number 17. And then I finished off with brush number 51, which is a fun, like, flaring one. And let's just, okay, I got to look at this too. So let's grab, and I use like a lighter color scheme. So let's get like this one here because I really want it to see. So let's 51. Make a new layer. Yeah, so this one, it's like if you go, this is a really fun brush. Let me just show it in action here. No, make a new layer. So it's a really fun fan sort of brush, and each way that you do it has a different like look, but it's wild. So you can create these. Even I did it here in the middle and had that sort of going over two different fruits. So just went like this. Fun, fun, fun. So let me just put the one that I put there back on. So that is the fruits done. Okay. Like this is kind of turning out to be a longer tutorial than I thought, but I was just like, okay, I'll just go through the whole thing, whatever. And then the leaves, same thing. I just used one of my Glitch Core Brush 8 very lightly, so I just wanted a little bit there. And then same thing with the what I wanted with those Spring Botanical brushes is I wanted it to be like a bit lighter, so you really see those. I painted the Spring Botanical brushes, and rather than filling the whole thing in with a color, what I did was I hit Command, or I think it's Control on a PC, and clicked this layer. So that way it creates a selection from that layer. And then I made a new layer. I clicked here to create a clipping mask. And then what I did was I turned off the base layer, or what you could do is to turn down the opacity just so you could see where to paint. So now I'm painting in my new layer, and I think I used brush number 88. So let's go here with that white and orange color palette, and let me find brush number 88. Okay. And so I wanted to not fill in that because I wanted it to give a fresh look, but um, you still get that feeling of that vine. So I thought that was make it a little bit different from the other one and have that really glitchy feel. So you still keep in that really glitchy vibe. So I like that. So that's what we did there. And then I did add a little bit of glitch in the background in a orange, and I forget which brush that I used, but I kind of like that, and I think that it makes it a little bit different from this one, distinguishes it. Let me just save as. Okay, citrus demo. I want to just see the one that I had showed you. So citrus demo, and then let's go back here to just opening it. Okay, so here's our original, and then we can see like this one. So as you can see, it's the same composition, just different brush sets, and you have totally different feel, but it looks like it could take you a long time, but the brushes are doing all of the heavy lifting. And so that's like a lot of fun. So this is my citrus demo, and just getting back into the flow of doing the tutorials. I was sick and I had to get a new camera, so now we are back to it. So let me know down below if you have any questions. I will have, for this one, because I want to do a lot of tutorials more, but I'm not doing like a brush set with every one because these are brushes that I already have released. So what I'll have for this one, if you're a member, a subscriber on Behance, is you can have the demo PSDs, and on most of them, I've written which brush that I use, so you can have that for reference. So the demo PSDs will be available, and then also those little leaf brushes, so little extras that are available to my members. And just let me know if you have any questions, and look forward to the next tutorial.